welcome to another edition of the Airbrush Show, brought to you by Scale War Machines. Airbrushing is one of the best techniques any modeller can master, and we make it our business to test the best airbrushing products out there, especially for model makers. Here's what we'll be looking at this time.
Here on the Airbrush Show, we see quite a few different compressors. Some are samples, others are part of our own collection. In this film we'll be looking at this, a Revell Omega, which we've owned since 2006. We've decided it's time for it to go to a friend, after over a decade of faithful spraying. So, before we pass it on, we'll give it a quick service and tell you more about it. First of all, this unit has worked faultlessly since we got it. It was bought as it was a very quiet compressor with an air tank. It uses an oil-bathe motor and is basically a fridge-style compressor. At the time it was bought, it was a pretty commonly seen machine from a respectable modelling brand. According to the original bill of sale, it was purchased online from Wonderland Models for £187.99, so it was a relatively high-end, semi-professional compressor, and it withstood delivery by a courier. Often these fridge-style machines tend to be made by one company in Italy called Verther, but there's no sign of their name on the engineering plate. We doubt Revell actually made it themselves, but there's no clue as to the original manufacturer on the outside. The Omega's nameplate also shows the serial number and technical specs of the machine. It's got a 1 litre tank, an airflow of 17 litres a minute, or 0.53 cubic feet per minute. It has a maximum working pressure of 6 bar or 88 psi, and its stated noise level is 35 decibels. Like many in this style of compressor, you'll find there's a moisture trap and a pressure regulator, plus a quarter star connector to which we added a quick coupling. The tank doubles up as a handle and the motor is enclosed in a sturdy case and set on rubber feet to absorb vibration. There's a simple on-off switch which illuminates when running. At the front is a pressure release safety valve or bleed valve, as well as a moisture release valve. Given how long we've used it, it's in great shape. The one thing that's noteworthy compared to, say, our Hansa HTC-15A compressor is that there's no auto on-off switch or pressure stat. That means that when the Omega reaches maximum pressure, the motor doesn't turn off. The excess air simply bleeds out continuously. It's still quiet at about 20 decibels, but that raises to approximately 40 to 50 decibels with the air escaping. Because we make videos, it's better to have a virtually silent compressor, with no bleed valve constantly leaking air, like the Omega does. We've never fully drained moisture from the air tank, and the oil is the original.
So that's what's in it, and we're going to get rid of it.
So out of curiosity, we thought we'd see what's inside and give it a once-over before passing it on. The steps you see should be done periodically, so hopefully seeing us do them will encourage other owners of the Omega to be a bit more attentive than we were. The first step is to get all the tools you'll need: spanners, a Phillips screwdriver, some new compressor oil and containers to catch the old oil and water. Start by making sure power is off and the tank's air is discharged. You could do this using either the pressure release valve or the moisture valve, but it can be very messy, with oil and water being sprayed under pressure. We just release the air via an airbrush. You're now ready to remove the moisture filter and regulator. Next up, remove the metal enclosure. This gives us a better look at the innards. It's clear the Omega is a solidly made and well-engineered machine. We'll start with an oil change. Unscrew the looking glass level window and tilt the compressor to empty the oil. As you can see, it's pretty clear and not too bad at all. Next, we'll unscrew the moisture release valve. As stated, you should really do this every so often. But this is the first time for us that it's been fully unscrewed and emptied. Raise the unit up and tilt. In our case, plenty of oil, water and gunk came out. Unsurprisingly, just make sure as much as possible is removed. Pleasingly, there's not much sign of rust or decay. That proves that it's a decent unit which uses good quality materials. It's now time to add replacement oil, but make sure you use proper compressor oil. Take the bottle and fill a nozzle, and with the looking glass secured in place, add oil using the tube clearly marked for oil. You can run the compressor to help it suck the oil in. A full bottle will be slightly too much for this motor, but you can check the oil level as you go. When it's about half filled, stop. With that done, the compressor has been serviced. The air filter is quickly checked, and as it's in good order we can start reassembly. To get the metal cover on, the air regulator has to be removed, but once in place the moisture trap and regulator are easy to refit. After a quick clean and a bit of running in, the compressor is ready to go to a new home and hopefully give another 12 years service. If one of these comes up for sale second-hand, they're a good purchase and are easy to service. If you buy a pressure stat, you might even be able to convert it to create an auto on-off function to replace the safety bleed valve. Thanks for watching Scale War Machines and the Airbrush Show throughout 2018. We're really grateful to everyone who follows us, and we'll be back with more in 2019. Bye for now.
That's all from the Airbrush Show. We hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned to Scale War Machines, the home of model making videos, articles and archive films.
Subscribe for our latest videos.